Says you're live.
Refresh. Give it a second. Live. Wait. Yes.
But I don't know very many of them.
Yeah, they always are. Yeah. Yeah, they're about that big. Yeah, they come to you. No, I just. No, you're not.
Help push them on. Maybe.
I've been there a long time. I feel like it's supposed to be a band.
Once we get this all squared out, you will come to my house, play playground, do a bunch of things. Maybe we just go to the playground up back.
Should we all stand for the Lord's Prayer, please? Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom comes, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Call this meeting to order of 5:30. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Matthew, will you call the roll, please?
Gallagher.
Present.
Messina. Here. Jacoby.
Present.
Scarborough.
Here.
Crawford's absent. Langner. Here. Olson.
Here.
Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Before we do that, you should all have an amended agenda in front of you. The only difference is being the original agenda had the election of a finance committee chair and personnel committee chair. Those actually can't be done for 30 days after the election, so those were removed. And we added in mayor's comments and alderman comments from those that are outlined if they wish to speak. So that's the amendment to the original. Yes.
I have a question. On the back of the packet, there's a memorandum from you about the Missouri Blue Shield program application.
Yes.
And it was as directed by the Board of Aldermen at the April 7th meeting. I don't see that direction reflected in the meeting minutes. Was that overlooked?
Yes, I can add that to those minutes.
What are you calling for?
She had a question about a memo about previous board direction. I will make that change.
Okay, thank you.
Do you need need a second.
Did that be our second?
Whoever made the motions needs to probably amend their motion to.
Right, I'll amend my motion to the amended agenda that
Amended minutes.
in the minutes.
Second.
Discussion? Mr. Matthew, call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Messina,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Langman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
And we have a consent agenda.
We've approved the amended consent agenda, yes.
That'll be for the new work, Mr. Mayor.
Just to make sure I'm on the same page, it appears as if Sarah Everhart provided a front page for her report. Is that correct?
Yes.
Awesome, thank you.
Didn't send it to him, I sent it to
Okay, cool.
Well, this will come in Maureen's.
Right, correct.
Okay. That will be her decision. Okay, I'll get back to the consent agenda.
We've approved the consent agenda.
We've
We've approved the consent agenda.
Okay, mayor's comment. It's been a long 2 years. I've enjoyed it, and I hope you all enjoyed me. I know some of you disagree with some of my policy, but that's people's decisions. So therefore, I'm glad to be leaving. Any alderman comment?
I would say is, I am proud to lead the board with all the things that we've accomplished since I've been on the board. And the one I would really appreciate was, the park board started out with like 1,800 on the budget, and then this year we awarded $11,000. And so some of the things, go enjoy our parks and see what the improvements we've made. Anyway, so thank you, and best wishes to the new group.
Okay, I'll call that next. Any other alderman comment? Okay, I'm calling for the oath of office. Will all the elected officials please take your place up here in front?
We need to adjourn this meeting first. Before we do that.
We never have before, but if you guys want to adjourn this meeting, fine, we'll adjourn this meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting, Simon and I.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Chapman, call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Messina,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Langman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
You wanted to do the reception now, or you want to do it?
I think it would be after the other office.
Sure.
Okay, now will the elected officials please step forward?
Alderman Scarborough, I would hold you.
That's a good question.
Put this area live so that people.
This way?
This year. We're changing things up last time.
You're good.
Is Becky Golds could you come up as well? Actually, you're first.
Okay.
Once you flip places with the map, you so that the
Oh, is that-
residents that are watching online can see.
Okay, put your right hand on the Bible, raise your left, repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Becky Gold,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess all the qualifications
that I possess all of the qualifications
for the position of city collector
for the position of city collector
as prescribed by law.
as prescribed by law.
And I will support the Constitution
And I will support the Constitution
of the United
Stick
States
of the
around
United States
for
and
2
the state
minutes.
of Missouri,
and the state of Missouri,
the provisions of all laws
the provisions of all laws
of this state
of this state
affecting fourth-class cities
affecting fourth-class cities
and the ordinances of
and the ordinances of
the city of Pleasant Valley, Missouri.
the city of Pleasant Valley, Missouri.
And I will faithfully demean myself.
And I will faithfully demean myself,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I state your name,
I, John Callaghan,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess all the qualifications
that I possess all the qualifications
for the position of alderman
for the position of alderman
as prescribed by law,
as prescribed by law,
and that I will support the Constitution
and I will support the Constitution
of the United
of the
States
United States
and the state of Missouri,
and the state of Missouri,
and the provisions of all laws
and the provisions of all laws
of this state
of this state
affecting fourth-class cities
affecting fourth-class cities
and the ordinances of the city
and the ordinances of the city
of Pleasant Valley,
of
Missouri.
Pleasant Valley, Missouri.
And I will faithfully demean myself,
And I will faithfully demean myself,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Stephanie? Question on the Bible, raise your right. I state your name,
I, Stephanie Freeman,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess all the qualifications
I possess all the qualifications
for the position of alderman
for the position of alderman
as prescribed by law,
as prescribed by law.
and I will support the Constitution
I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the state of Missouri,
and the state of Missouri,
the provisions of all laws
provision of all laws
of this state
of this state
affecting fourth-class cities
affecting fourth-class cities
and the ordinances of
and the ordinance of
the city of Pleasant Valley, Missouri,
the city of Pleasant Valley, Missouri,
and will faithfully demean myself,
and will faithfully demean myself.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Good afternoon. I
In the
state
way.
your name,
I, Debbie Scarborough,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I possess all the qualifications
that I possess all of the qualifications
for the position of alderman
for the position of alderman
as prescribed by law,
as prescribed by law,
and I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the state of Missouri,
and the state of Missouri,
the provision of all laws
the provisions of all laws
of this state
of this state
affecting fourth-class cities
affecting fourth-class cities
and the ordinances of
and the ordinances of
the city of Pleasant Valley, Missouri,
the city of Pleasant Valley, Missouri,
and will faithfully demean myself,
and will faithfully demean myself.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Good afternoon. I state your name,
I, Patrick Gallagher,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess all the qualifications
that I possess all the qualifications
for the position of alderman
for the position of alderman
as prescribed by law,
as prescribed by law,
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the state of Missouri,
and the state of Missouri,
the provisions of all laws
the provisions of all laws
of this state
affecting fourth-class cities,
and the ordinances of
and the ordinances of
the city of Pleasant Valley, Missouri,
the city of Pleasant Valley, Missouri,
and will faithfully demean myself,
and will faithfully demean myself,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I state your name.
I, Reen Flippin,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess all the qualifications
that I possess all of the qualifications
for the position of mayor
for the position of mayor
as prescribed by law.
as prescribed by law,
That I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the state of Missouri,
and the state of Missouri,
the provisions of all laws
the provisions of all laws
of this state
of this state
affecting fourth-class cities
affecting fourth-class cities
and the ordinances of
and the ordinances of
the city of Pleasant Valley, Missouri.
the city of Pleasant Valley, Missouri,
I will faithfully demean myself,
and will faithfully demean myself,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Here's your keys.
Oh, okay, thank you. Now, do we want to sit or do we want to open the meeting? Okay. Okay, let us call the meeting to order. At this point, I'd like to do a little recognition for the outgoing mayor and alderman. So, we have these. We can. Okay, we're going to do a little presentation for the outgoing mayor and alderman. Can you all hear? Okay. Mary, where are you? Thank you. Now, come over here, please. This is for your recognition of your outstanding service and dedication to our community for 10 plus years and serving on the board. So thank you.
Thank you.
Ruth, please. Okay. This is for your certificate of appreciation for 22 years. I don't know if I remember that long. For all of your contributions to the city in your various positions.
Thank you.
Because you're always called mayor, even though you have exited the office. This is your certificate of appreciation in recognition of all of the positions that you have held in our city government and during 22 years of service.
Thank you.
Thank you. I hope so. Okay, let me get my pad open, please.
Do you want to have the reception now, or would you like to open the meeting and call it recess?
Let us go ahead and have the reception right now. Just a 15-minute break for everybody. That's okay. The people that need to leave, you can leave. People that want to stay, you stay.
We've got some snacks in the back. I got sodas, cookies, homemade cookies, so just so everyone knows, and some strawberries for anyone who doesn't want all the sugar are there as well. So we're gonna take like 15 minutes to go enjoy some treats, welcome the new members, say thank you to the previous members, and then we'll start back up.
And you can bring the food, I'm assuming, into this chamber.
Yes,
Did we call for recess because the meetings? I think the Green said the words.
I did open the meeting, so
So
I will call
I
for
moved for
recess.
15-minute recess for the reception.
Second.
And then take a vote. And take a vote, please.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Messenger.
Old habits, 22 years here.
Yes. Scarborough,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody
wet their whistle.
This water's nice.
Rocking the day.
Oh, it's hot. It is hot.
My ear, like.
You got here, we took this 15-minute recess. I understand. We can only give it a try.
Okay, yeah, okay.
We just be our test pilot.
Mayor, you know the air conditioner's out.
Yes, I do.
Yes. Well, Tom Moss resigned out of the third district. He's a former KCP guy.
Oh my God, that was perfect.
You did okay. Probably was your brother.
Thank you. I noticed.
I saw the try. I saw it here.
No, so. Number one. Yeah.
Grab the mouse. He's also very good.
Don't hear you.
Test.
I hear a little bit.
Test. This one's like, mine's not like that.
Like the round thing.
Test, test,
I'm gonna raise it up.
test, test. Test.
The berries?
Try batteries?
Put it on your plate right now.
I'm gonna try and put it
And
right.
if you can go back and see if there's any more cookies.
But no, it's good.
I talk about.
He's showing,
Oh, yeah.
I'll just go get. Well, I'll just try and put like the dashboard and see if that helps. And I have to go for what? Well, you're not gonna come The taste of the cookies?
I have not.
Strawberry. That's been done yesterday. Everything went up just fine.
So I was on my feet for part of it.
Well, we can't have
My ass is went down. Yeah. I mean, you can
It was there in the morning. Put it in. Oh, somebody take it home.
like it's cool.
But I didn't be halfway in. If I take it out. I would work it last back up with water.
We have been called Gilligans. We have been called Gilligans. Gilligans.
I make sure that morning nobody complains, so. I took the smallest container.
Randy, what those windows behind you guys opened up? It's probably making nice airflow.
Can you do it, actually do that?
Yeah,
they open.
Sarah said it's not court, we can open them.
It's clear, it's not.
I look, I kept looking at my phone. Hey, girl, you didn't tell me that. Oh. You say my name. And you do the same for you. Yes.
Ready? I have this. Okay, we're good.
It's so quiet, it's like, it's so close. I don't know why it's so quiet. So just fair warning, I don't know why yours seems quieter than the other. I don't know why. We turned it up on the dial, but it's still just. I'll let you know.
I give them some color, but yeah, really.
I'm making your friend.
They mentioned it this morning.
It was where I put it on now.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be in touch.
Get kicked out of the front row?
I was in the way of the camera.
Yeah.
My shoulder was right in the thing.
It's a shockingly wide angle. It seems like it shouldn't be from that close.
We didn't have two positions that started. I was my second year.
Second goal.
That's true. So my hope was that, I think they turned out, I tried one.
38 years.
Yes, yeah, I had to take seconds after the meeting as well, so. I think there's still friends on already seconds. I think that's it. Afterwards, that's fine. Perfect.
It's 29, 7 seconds. Except by throwing a rose up, I was behind the
Can everybody come back in?
Have a good night.
You get to take it.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead with our portion of the meeting. I'm gonna just make a few opening comments about how I run a meeting. I don't like a lot of chaos, so. Okay, we're bringing the meeting back into order. And do we need to do a vote? Okay.
I'll second.
You want to start?
Yes.
Yes.
Kobe,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Freeman,
Coming back into order.
Olson.
Yes.
Okay. Everybody gets to have their say during this discussion. I typically do not cut anyone off unless you get into something that's off topic, and then I will do that. If somebody gets wild and crazy, I will tell you to dial it down. And I would hope that you would take that to heart. I'm probably the only one that has a really bad hearing problem. So if I can hear you speaking at a normal tone, then I'm sure everybody else does. Okay? I think that's it at this point. Any alderman comments?
I would like to discuss the fact that these meetings were changed to 5:30 from 6:30.
In new business?
We can do it here, we can discuss
Okay.
it in new business. We can go more into depth in new business, but just so everybody's thinking about it.
Okay.
There are residents that can't make it to a meeting because they don't get off working time to get here by 5:30.
Whether they avail themselves of us or not, we need to provide the opportunity then for them to do so. Is that what you're?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll take that up under new business, John. I do want to make a nomination for the board president, or have you make a nomination for the board president. My preference is to have John Callaghan, if anyone can move to do that.
I move that we accept John Callaghan as the board president.
And is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion about this? Any questions of John? Okay, clerk, call the roll. Yes,
Sorry,
go ahead.
question. Sorry, I just have a history of doing this, so I feel like I should probably be consistent. I've talked with John privately, so I know a little bit more, but for other people, because people in the audience don't always have the chance to talk privately. So, John, would you just go into a little bit of your background experience as an alderman and how that would help you in the role of board president?
I did. I was on the board. I did 3 terms as an alderman. And I think my last term ended in either 2000 or 2001 because of a health issue. And I resigned about 3 months before the end of the term for surgery. But I served as board president under 2 different mayors back then. I've kind of been out of the politics for this length of time, 23 years, 24 years. But very thorough with everything that I do. I sat on, at the time, we had police committees, public works committees, fire committees, finance committee, personnel committee. And we were, at a time, I was going to 5 or 6 meetings a week. I'm retired now, and I've got a little more time to devote to this. So, does that answer your question?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Clerk, call the roll.
Callaghan.
Yes.
Callaghan.
Yes.
Kobe.
Yes.
Scarborough.
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Congratulations, John. Now I can take a vacation. Okay. I am not at this time appointing a park board chairman. That means that Mary Langner from the previous board serves in that capacity until I do so. It is not my intention to do that until maybe the end of the year. It may not happen then. We're going to try something maybe new and different with the civic organization as a test program. And Mary's going to be involved in that. So that's all I'm going to say about that at this time till we get things more ironed out. Okay. Anyone that would like to address the board in any capacity? No? You guys are way too quiet. All right. Okay, Dana?
the 6:30 meeting time change. I've spoken with my neighbors, whether it's a single parent, that's dinner time for their child, trying to get through traffic in our area. They like input, they like to be informed, at least the citizens I've spoken with. So I'm bringing forward that, yes, I could occur on that 6:30 meeting time.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you for your comment.
Thank you.
Anyone else waving a hand somewhere? No? Okay. Okay, an administration report, Mr. Slater? Any updates?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I left the spreadsheet up there for you all, and I just want to explain the differences. So.
The what? You're explaining what?
This spreadsheet should be right there at your.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so if you notice, the general fund went down $50,000. So when I was the mayor, we had a lawsuit that involved R&Ls about zoning, and I'll go into detail in just a second. But we took out $300,000 loan against it from the sewer fund over 5 years, paid back $60,000 a year. So minus that, we probably had a $10,000 surplus. But the reason we took that loan against R&L is that when Mayor Flippin was up here 18 years ago, you guys had a comprehensive plan done.
Yes.
And it suggested that we change the zoning from light industrial to commercial. And then when I was up here, we did a sustainable places study in 2013. And that defined what the city should look like, and the 6-9 corridor was a big part of it. And R&L was just being difficult. We knew they were moving. They'd already bought that place at 291 and 210. And they were going to bring a tire remanufacturing plant into here to put up there. And so we moved, we took it to court. And while they got $300,000, they were not happy at all with that outcome. And it was pretty much a little coup on Pleasant Valley, just to limit it to $300,000. The reason we got that is because we did lessen the value of that land when we lowered the zoning. And we did that all up and down 69 Highway. If you'll recall, if you've been here for a while, like Northland Ready Mix, who is also suing the city, but I hadn't heard anything of that for years now. But that starts a little go-kart place, a little kart place where you mix concrete, take it maybe for a 9-yard patio or something like that. And it's turned into quite an operation. And we're, the neighbors don't appreciate the dust. And what we're trying to do is prevent, their grandfather in, but we're just trying to prevent that. And actually, I said it was a little economic development coup. Right after that happened, the powers that be started talking to me about becoming their EDC director. So they kind of liked what happened here, but that's an explanation. And now if you go down below, you'll notice on the third one, that sewer fund, it went down $59,000. And how did it go down when we put $60,000 in it from the general fund? Well, we had 12 payments in 2024, but Kansas City showed that we were still behind. So we had to make another payment. So if you put, let's just round payment to $60,000, that puts us back to 60,000 in from the general fund, now 60,000 out. But then we also paid that money twice in January. So when we made our March payment, it put us another 60,000. So when you get your financial statement for April, there will be no expense for sewer to reimburse Kansas City. When you get the May one, it'll be about $19,000 less than what it would have been, because we got that extra payment going to Kansas City. Kansas City denied it. We said, no, there's paperwork. And they said, no, you guys are right. So that's the explanation as far as why you have those two variants. Now, next month on general fund, it'll drop. Payroll's about $45,000, and we pay 26 times a year or 2 weeks. And so that means twice a year, you have 3 months with the payroll in it. So April's one of those. And so you'll see a little bit of drop in the general fund, but you're going to see that pretty much every month because we've collected most of the property taxes. And that's a big windfall in January and a little bit in February, but kind of fizzles out after that. That explains your differences. If you got any questions, let me know. Thank you.
we will probably come back to you,
That'd be
David,
perfect.
about that. Okay. Any updates from you, Georgia?
I have 2 reports in your packet. I apologize for the second one. I did not get that information until after 3 on Friday. So I guess I'd just start with, did anybody have any questions about anything that was on my report? Okay. So several issues to discuss. Still city media. I handed out an email from Serenity for everybody at the beginning of the meeting. You can see that. She did a bunch of research on other options, other media companies, what they may offer. So I guess at this point, what I would need from the board is just a decision about whether we're going to do an RFP for it, and B, determining the scope of that, the specs for the RFP. I don't know if you want to do something like that in committee, if you want the board to do it, or you want that way the police chief could be involved. I would think that you would want that.
I would like to have someone table this until we've heard all sides of that and from everybody and are able to ask appropriate questions.
Okay.
Is there a motion to table that?
So, tabling the discussion about Steel City Media
Yes.
as a whole.
Yes.
So, can I make a comment about it first, and then a table? Just to address the email, so hopefully people will also receive this email. All my blank squares for my handle there. But since you also have the papers here, I just wanted to address, so what I wanted to do in looking this up was, 1, see if we had competitor companies in the area, but 2, my other thought process was, even if there isn't a direct competitor and we need it to go out to bid, that doesn't mean that Steel City Media is the best option for Pleasant Valley. So one of the things I was looking at was other companies that maybe don't do the same exact thing as Steel City Media, but did offer specialized recruitment for police departments. So just keep that in mind. And I agree. I think this is something that we should probably look into more closely. People can kind of investigate this. So I will move that we table the discussion about Steel City Media and making any formal decisions on that for the time being.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, clerk, call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Callaghan,
Yes.
Cody,
No.
Scarborough,
No.
Freeman,
Yes.
is that yes?
Yes.
Olson,
Yes.
Okay. So we will try to get together in some kind of a committee forum or a special board meeting forum before the next meeting on that. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so the remote work policy, there's a draft in your packet. And like it discusses in my report, it was passed as an ordinance at the April 7th meeting. During the discussion and the vote, there was an addition. So I sent it back to the attorney that helped out that. And that's when she added some additional language to make it consistent throughout the document. And it also defines essential workers. So I guess on that, all I need is feedback from the board about whether they want to move forward with these changes in the future, or if they want to leave the ordinances as it was passed April 7th.
Would you please explain how this affects certain personnel? Is it written for a specific type of personnel?
So it is for non-essential workers. Essential workers, as they are defined in the policy, which, grab it for you real quick so we can be clear. Essential employees and departments are not eligible for any remote work arrangements. Essential employees is defined as being required to work on-site due to the position's responsibility related to emergency services and circumstances considered necessary by the city. Departments considered essential would be the fire department, fire EMS, police department, communications department, and public works. So that leaves administration and court as having employees that could be construed as non-essential being able to work remotely.
Okay. And then they would have computer access into our system here?
Correct, they already do. We already have employees who have worked remotely ever since the pandemic, off and on. But yes, that VPN and employees having laptops at home and that sort of thing, that's already occurred. We just didn't have a policy to address that.
Okay.
It's something that grew out of the pandemic, and a formal policy was not adopted.
Okay. Patrick.
So a lot of the issues that I had with the original policy, it looks like were addressed. It defines who it talks about, it defines what the exclusions are. One of the biggest things was preventing the court from providing necessary services in certain circumstances. It sounds like that has been updated in this to not prevent those services from being performed. Is that correct?
That is correct. I explained the situation to the attorney when I sent it back so that we could make sure that what we were crafting was something that would work for that.
Okay, so you have.
I have a question on this as well.
Go ahead.
Is this, I don't know if I asked this last meeting, but it occurred to me after reviewing it this second time. Is this something that we have discussed with each of the department heads to know kind of how it would uniquely affect each, I guess in this case, since we clarified the language, would only affect administration and court. So is that something that we have discussed with court department head and admin department head to know, does this policy work for them and for their staff? And is it comprehensive to their needs? Is that something that we have done?
When it was crafted, no.
Oh,
No.
okay.
It was just crafted to address something that was already occurring and has been for several years.
Okay.
And I believe what the city administrator said at the last meeting was that employees should, the idea is that we should be here to serve the public. Our offices need to be open and we need to be available to our constituents and any customers, clients, whatever you would call them.
So I would make a suggestion that we speak with the department heads that this policy will directly affect and go over the policy with them to know how it's going to affect them and their staff, since they know their departments the best, better than individual aldermen who aren't here on a day-to-day basis. So that would be my suggestion before we adopt it fully. I'm a little confused and need a little bit of clarification. Is the policy already in effect because of our vote at the last meeting? So now we'd be taking a separate vote to amend the ordinance?
That's correct.
Okay, so I would suggest that we revisit this at the next meeting after talking to the department heads that it would affect, and then come forward with a further clarified amendment to make sure that it suits those departments individually, since it's kind of a broad policy. That would be my suggestion.
So I
Go ahead.
have a motion, based off of your recommendation too. I think there's a timeliness factor as well. I think there's some key important changes to it that we need to implement to correct. So I move that the HR director consult with the admin department head and the court department head, confirm that the draft copy is presented, it works for their department and does not require any additional changes, and then bring forth an ordinance for amending the previous ordinance on this at the next board meeting.
Second.
Okay. We've got a first and a second. Any further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Olson,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Cody.
Yeah.
Callaghan,
Yes.
Gallagher.
Yes.
Anything else?
Yes, so the fire department ride-along program, that's gonna be later in ordinance. The fire and I, chief and I work together with the city attorney.
Now, this is the Ray County Ambulance District you're talking about? Okay.
Correct. Okay, so open enrollment for health, dental, and vision insurance starts May 13th and runs through May 30th. And I will need to get, and I apologize, I should have brought it out to you this evening, but I'll try to get it, May 5th meeting. The forms, even if you do, or you're not interested in the insurance, I still need a form that says that you declined the insurance. Okay, great, that's perfect. Okay, last but not least, the timekeeping software. So last fall, there was some discussion about, right now, everyone except the fire department uses paper time sheets. Just write in your time, turn that in, and that gets processed. The supervisors have to review it, it's sent to me, and I process it after that. The fire department does have time clocks, and they are able to send a report over. Right now, unfortunately, it's a paper report that they send to me, so it doesn't automatically go in the system. I'm still keying it in and checking it and that sort of thing. Their system is the Lag Tech, and that is owned by this TCP. So I contacted TCP for a proposal. They did a demo, and I handed out the information. Unfortunately, I sent it to Matt. I don't know. There was some miscommunication or something. It didn't get in the board packet. So because you haven't had time to review it, I just wanted to provide it to you, and maybe it's something that we can talk about at the next meeting. All I'm asking for is whether you want to pursue something like this, or you're not interested in this and you'd like to just keep doing things the way we do them now. So if you have any questions about that, think something later, even outside the meeting, please don't hesitate to give me a call. I'd be happy to talk about it.
Go ahead, Patrick.
So some of the questions that I would like to see answered when we discuss this in the future include further tie-ins to our payroll software. Because right now you get a piece of paper from the fire department, and you get a bunch of pieces of paper from all of the other employees. That is very inefficient.
Right.
And there should be a tie-in to automate the transfer of that information. I would like to know if TCP is able to do that, or if we're just going to have a bigger master list that we then have to hand jam into the software.
Yeah.
Into payroll.
No, they would. That is the plan. The time clocks are kind of an addition to, but it's also to their time and attendance system that will make that all automatic. And something about TCP is they used to be Tyler Technologies payroll provider, prior to Tyler taking that on themselves and bringing it in-house. So they have a lot of experience with that. They have a lot of experience with a lab tech that the fire department already has. It seems like the least disruptive option, and they also have a cooperative purchasing agreement already in place that we are members of, the Omnia Partners, I believe is what it's called. So I guess my question for you is, would you want like a demo done at a council meeting? Or do you want to maybe just, because you're interested, I don't know if everybody else is interested in it, perhaps we could set up a demo where you would be there to ask questions and stuff, maybe not done at a formal meeting if others aren't interested in the information.
Sure. I guess my biggest deal is, it sounds like this would be separate from and in addition to lab tech. So would we continue utilizing the timekeeping piece of the lab tech and have it a separate module for all of the other departments? And it sounds like that's the case.
Yeah.
Or would
that is,
or would TCP?
at least that's what they have told me and through their demo, because I said, what we have in the fire department, we're very happy with.
Yeah.
We just want to expand that to the rest of our departments. And that's, so that's when they put together presentation and everything. Again, if you're interested in seeing one of their presentations, they also have a lot of security information, which, I mean, I know we need security, but you would probably understand more about that than I do, about what criteria you're looking for in security certificates from software providers.
Is it okay if I email you a list of questions that
Sure. That'd be great.
Yeah. Awesome. I'll do that.
Would it be possible to have those questions and then their answers forwarded to the board in its entirety, if we get the answers? Or just put in the packet maybe at the next meeting?
I think there should be some kind of communication between this meeting and next meeting, for having the questions and the answers, and then we decide whether we want to come together and have some kind of a formal meeting, training meeting, at that point. You okay with that?
Yep, I do.
Okay. So, can you do that, Georgia, in between our two meetings?
Okay, so I would be emailing that information to you guys. Okay. And I know you have, I say new members, probably not new members, you guys have served on the board before, but just a reminder, when we send out email information, we're not able to discuss that. You can discuss it directly with me, but you wouldn't want to discuss it with the reply all, because that makes it.
We would come back together.
Okay.
We just each need to read it.
Sure.
And get some information. If you don't want to, if you're not comfortable emailing it, then we could pick it up at the counter.
Could we also BCC everyone, so that way?
I was gonna say, yeah.
So that way there's not a reply all function. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Matthew,
I provided a written report. I didn't have anything to add, but I'm available if anybody has questions.
I actually have a quick question. It's not super relevant to this specific report, but because the ethics committee is on here, I was just curious on what the process is. If somebody contacts you to join the ethics committee, is there an interview process? Do they come before the board?
I had an application for that committee, and it's not been an active committee since I've been here. I don't even know the answer, but I'll get it.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions of Matthew? All right. Okay. We've covered the city administrator's report, yes. We've covered the human resource report. And now we're going to do public works. Chris?
So I provided a written report for you all on some upcoming projects that we're putting together. Does anybody have any questions about any of that? Okay, if not, the air conditioning unit that's in that closet, which is original to this building, 25 years old, has expired. So what you hear running is the fan just to try and help
Move air.
keep it a little cool. I prepared a document that will go in the paper this week as required by the purchasing procedures for requests for bids. And that's going to get into the newspaper people. Since it is over, or likely to be over $10,000, it needs board approval. I'm trying to get it approved quickly because once the temperatures spike, they're going to get bogged down.
So would this just be a motion to seek out the bids, or is this a motion to move forward with replacement?
The motion to move forward to replace.
So I would like to make a motion that we move forward with replacing the air conditioning unit in City Hall.
Is it
Chamber?
It's not just a unit. I'm sorry. Did you say second? Second. Okay. Discussion. Is it a unit or a system? Because you were talking to me about two.
So the whole system, which consists of the furnace, the air conditioner, and the outside unit, is all shop.
Okay.
It's 25 years old. It was originally installed in the building. It's there's 6 of them out there. 2 of them have been replaced, so 4 of them to go. This would knock it down to 3. And then there's a mini split downstairs that goes here.
Okay.
That's newer than those.
So should I say HVAC system? Would that be a better?
Yes.
So I would like to amend my motion from air conditioning unit, I don't know what I said, that's what I said, to HVAC system outside of my pay grade here.
Second. We've got another second. All right. Done.
So
Discussion.
this, you're gonna replace it, but you're gonna go out for bid for it.
I have to.
Right. And then when you get the bids back, is this motion just gonna say Chris gets to pick the best bid, or is it gonna come back before us?
I mean, normally I would choose the lowest and most responsible bidder and reach out to them, and the others that did, let them know they've won and awarded the bid, and the others contact and say, thank you for bidding, but you were the lowest bidder. We get going on projects.
How long has it gotta be posted in the paper, 7 days or something like that?
It only has to be in the paper one time.
Okay.
And it has to be on the bulletin board out here.
And are you reaching out to other companies?
So I'll get with Matt and look at the list of companies that have reached out to us to be on the bid list and call them and ask them to bid as well. You know, the more bids you get, the better price.
Better chance we're gonna get to get a better deal.
It's a 4-ton, 16,000 BTU unit.
And the other 3 out there, they're the same age.
They were all put in, all 6 at the same time. And, you know, one of them shot craps 5 years ago. So, I mean, we've certainly got our money out of all. of it.
Right, but I wanna see if we can get a better deal, maybe if we go ahead and price out replacing all of them that are 25 years old.
At the same time.
Yeah.
You know, you used to be able to do those for 7,000, 8,000. Now they're 11,000, 12,000. So you
Understand that, and maybe 20 in 3 years, so. but
right.
if
I
they-
mean,
if
it's I don't have that in the budget to cover all that, but that's something we could look at for 2026. You know.
Have those units been serviced this spring?
Excuse me.
Have they been serviced this spring, just to see?
They haven't been serviced yet. The, you know, I spoke to the viewer in here, you guys were
Yeah.
messing with the contraption.
Right.
And, so I asked the guy, I said, and I was on the fence, you know, because, I didn't want to put a Band-Aid on it. You know, it's 25 years old, we certainly got our money's worth. It's not like we don't have the money. If it was my house and it shot cracks, yeah, I would buy it. So, I don't know if anybody knows, as Jen probably knows, but, they changed the refrigerant. And the refrigerant, the guy told me, and I don't know if it is BS me or not, but he said, 3,500 to 4,500 just for the refrigerant. And there was no guarantee that it was gonna work.
Is it R22?
That's a lot of money just to throw away to gamble, you know? Like I said, if it was my house, I would have put a new one in.
Right, but
I
I
know.
just, I hate to go out for bid for one unit, and we get that finished in the next week, and another one.
Well,
crap.
like I said, the thing is, we don't have that much money. I get asked periodically to suppress replacing stuff. And, you know, like the sewer money was used to a lawsuit. Road and street money was used for city lot, and, you know, I don't have any control of it unless I battle all you guys, and that's not in my best interest. So, you know, so when I did put in for that to replace them all, and it got shut down. Because you don't know. I mean, like I said, they're 25 years old, but you technically could get 28, 30 years out of them, maybe. So we can look at it next budget time.
Yeah.
Or I may be able, some companies that submit bids, I could talk to them and say, hey,
Yeah,
you want to get on the books to replace these others?
Yeah, because, I mean, even if.
I don't know if that's legal. I think I have to allow, I think I would have to ask that question
To all
of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be above board.
So, yeah.
I've got a question on the budget. I mean, we're talking about.
Where it's coming from?
Yeah, where it's coming from. I see Department 900 capital improvements. There's an expense account for
Building
building
improvements.
improvements.
Yeah.
A total of 86,000. Is that right?
It could go there, or it could go to equipment, but can one of the other department heads tell me what? Equipment is? Yeah, like.
The ambulance is a big chunk of it.
I mean, we can pull, when are you gonna get the ambulance?
July. It's good this year. July this year.
Okay, well,
My point is, I'm just looking at, I want to see that we make sure that we keep the building up. And if you've had experiences in the past of fighting the board, that, I get it. We're not the easiest to get along with.
well, it's
That
always
said-
a money thing.
That said,
I'll
I
be
just
honest
want to
with you.
understand what the rest of that current budget for the year is supposed to be earmarked for. We budgeted for 86, we've used 11,000, that leaves 74,000.
Budgeted for 86, in a year, 86?
No, $86,284 in capital improvements for building improvements, which sounds like that would be what this.
That would
HVAC
probably be the
system
best
replacement
place to pull that money from, but if that money is
That's
definitely
my question.
designated for something,
That's my question.
then we're
What is
cheating.
the other 74,000 earmarked for? None of that's for the ambulance.
Part of it,
That's
we've
just
got a
building
detailed
improvements.
listing.
Is that a
That's for the
combined,
glasses.
is that a combined?
Yeah, I thought we had $20,000 for building improvements plus the glass. I could come.
Is that
Can I step out
combined?
for a little bit and bring that right back?
I'm sorry, I gotta sit down. Is that combined for, some projects? Yeah. Is it? David?
He's going to get paperwork.
Okay.
So, let us go ahead and go on. So do we have a motion on the floor? Where are we at? We have a motion on the motion. We need to-
We have a motion to replace the HVAC unit in city. Hall.
The system.
HVAC system.
Okay.
The one that's failed.
Motion.
Okay. Well. We could table this until David comes back and move on. Would you be okay with that?
Yeah, could we, yeah, so I could, I never remember if it's a table or postpone, I don't know if it makes a difference, but I'll table my motion until David comes back, and then we can readdress it later in the meeting, once he returns, we can move on.
Okay, so. Our department.
Good evening. So I also provide a written report, and for those that are new, what I usually do is I provide our numbers on the second meeting of the month for the previous month, and that's what these numbers are, the numbers that are the runs that we had, and transports and so forth, our training, and if we had any significant calls, I would let you know about those. The ambulance was mentioned, and I did reach out last week to confirm that they are in fact starting to build. They received the chassis on the 3rd of April, so they are in fact starting to build. The inspection date is expected for July 15th, 16th. Exactly, the middle of July we'll have the inspection date, so we are on target to get that ambulance. And as just an invite to the new board, the fire department has a award ceremony May 17th at the station at noon. I think it's really more of an excuse for everybody to show off their barbecue skills. We'll provide lunch, so you all are certainly invited. May 17th, it's a Saturday.
What time to what time?
Noon until
Whenever?
Till we get done. Till you want to leave.
Till there's no more meat left, right?
Yep. We had plenty last year.
Thank you.
I'd like to bring back, the discussion about the HVAC system. So,
We tabled it until you came back.
May I take over for Director Crum, if you don't mind? On that sheet, you just got that's the budgeted capital improvements. And that $25,000, and Director, correct me if I get out of whack here on this, but you'll notice 5 lines down, you see building improvements. that 25,000 is where the air conditioning would come out of. But let me address it, Alderman Callaghan's request. That sheet I gave on your desk earlier, it shows $1.3 million, a little more than that, in capital improvements fund. And what that's saying is that, yes, we do have $25,000 budgeted, but if you want to get 6 HVAC units at $12,000 each, that's $72,000 is available. And that's a board decision. You guys can pop the budget if you want to, because that was just an estimate. And if there's a good reason to change it, that's what you're here for.
Very good, thank you.
Okay, Secretary Clerk, but you got detailed listing of everything that we budgeted for.
Is there a way that we could find out what it would cost to replace one and then see if they have an additional price for replacing all of them? See if it does save money to replace all of them at once?
If you guys approve that, then yeah, I could require.
I think it would at least be worth inquiring to see what the cost would be, because obviously right now, I personally wouldn't want to move forward to say, hey, let's replace all of them. We don't know what it's going to cost or if it would even save money.
Right.
But I think it would be worth to inquire, what does it cost to replace the one that's broken? And if we, I don't know, if they like a bundle and save option or something, we did all of them.
Is that gonna postpone the fixing?
So I put it.
I don't think so.
It's not break yet, even.
I don't think so. I think we could, well, yeah, because we'd have to come back before the board to know if we wanted to move forward with all of them or one of
So
them.
if you do it for 3, you don't have, you're not committed to buying 3. You can just buy one.
So I think basically the decision we need to make is if it's 4, how much would we be approving up to? And then would we be just giving Chris the discretion to decide if it's worth it to replace multiple or replace one? So that way, once he gets the bid and doesn't have to come back before the entire board in 2 weeks to decide if we actually move forward with them replacing it. That's a long time.
The bids are likely going to come in at 11,000 to 12,000.
And would you suspect that there would be any advantage to us replacing all of them at once versus just replacing the broken one?
You'd probably say $12,000.
But you also have Alderman Callaghan's saying the inflation's going to be a factor for you.
But I know, yeah, I know for a fact that my brother's got rental property, and he's had a couple of his units die. His HVAC guy said prices are going up, so he bought 5 units just to put in his shop to sit there. So next year when one goes out, he's already got the unit to put it in. But if we've got it that are 25 years old, I just don't want to have to do this every month. It's something that's going to go crash.
Sure, I mean, like I said, we got our money's worth out of it. Nobody, without a crystal ball, nobody's saying what we have.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. I would like to know if there's a break on it. I would be opposed to if they come back and say, yeah, we're gonna give you a 20% break on all of them. If you do them all at once and we've got them in stock, we can call a special meeting and say, okay, you know, we're gonna basically buy 3, get 1 free, or something like that if we do it now. As an alternative.
Or at a minimum, just lock in the correct prices rather than have prices that are, 50% greater. Yeah, it's been playing havoc on the market for a while.
Just to make sure that I understand and that obviously Chris understands what we're doing moving forward, as far as the motion goes, we're having him ask about the cost of replacing one system versus the cost of replacing all the systems that are old, 4 systems. And then depending on what you hear back, if there is a savings on replacing all of them, or we in general just want, even if there's no savings, would we want to replace them all too? If it's not any cheaper.
That would have to be a special board.
Yeah, we'd have to have a special
So that's,
meeting
I'm
to
wondering
discuss it, but
Okay, so I guess just when you get the bids back, then we'll just let the board know and then schedule a special meeting so we can get it done as quickly as possible.
So if I may, I would recommend I go forward with this ad.
Yes.
Inquire, have them respond.
Yes.
With bids or replacement.
Okay.
because they're likely to already give their best price since they know it's applicable. But that might not be the very best price. Have the bids come in, determine the lowest bidder, reach out to that person and say, what's your cost? I could do the free.
Is that a correct way of doing it?
I think you'll get the best.
Do you have to ask all the places?
Do we have to ask all of them for the same?
Yes, you have to put the
You
same
could have to ask
verbiage
the
out
same question to every single one.
to everybody.
Well, that's fine too, but if you're choosing the, yeah,
I think as long as you ask all of them that same question and then determine the lowest bidder. I'm sorry, I know this is confusing. I'm just trying to nail it out so I know what my motion is.
Well, I think when it gets posted in the paper, it could be posted that we need to replace one unit, but we also want to price a total of 4 unit replacements to see if they'll come back like that.
I don't think so. The cutoff for the ad is today.
Oh.
Well, can it just be part of the inquiry, or do we need to have a separate ad if we want to do 4?
The way we, correct me if I'm wrong, but the way the ad read, it was for a single unit.
Yeah.
I think once we get the bids back and determine the lowest best bid for that one unit, we can go back to all the bidders with that question.
Okay.
This is, you gave us your best for one, what's your best for 3?
And then bring that information to the board, call a special meeting so that we're not having to wait weeks on weeks to get our AC fixed. And then we just need to follow the proper procedure for calling a special meeting.
Man, you're not gonna like this. The bids are open until the 30th. So nothing's gonna happen. Sorry.
Okay.
You're open until the 30th, so I don't know if we have anything.
Which is actually a shorter amount of time.
It is, that was very
But I
short.
was trying to push it with the season.
So it's open to the 30th, okay.
Well, but that being said, if that happens, we could call a special meeting even Thursday or Friday prior to the next board.
Yeah, so we need, what is it, 24-hour notice for a special meeting?
Yes.
So then possibly Thursday or Friday. I do have an all-day wedding on Friday, so I may not be here if it happens on Friday, but I don't know if I need to change my motion or not. I got very lost there.
I think we can stick with it since we only can do one.
Unless you're.
Yeah, we would have to.
Update it, or is it fine as it?
I think it's fine, but I will read what I have to make sure that.
Okay.
So, and if I may, the bidding period that's in the ad, it ends Wednesday, April 30th at 5 p.m.
At 5 p.m.
Okay, so the motion on the floor is?
The motion I have is to replace the HVAC system in the City Hall chambers that failed.
Can I amend and?
Can't because it's already been sent out.
Well, we discussed is that even though it's been sent out, we could then inquire to the individual companies what their cost, what they would charge to do multiple units.
I think we can just leave that up to Chris, just
Yeah, I
to say,
think Chris
hey,
can just do that anyway.
we're getting a bid for the one that's broken, and he can ask them if they are willing to submit for 3 additional units.
Okay, so I don't need to include that in my motion.
If they submit for that, we can call a special meeting and discuss that, because
I just don't know if, Chris, do you need it in motion form that you have our permission to ask for the price of multiple units? I can just add it to my motion. As long,
I mean, ultimately, any piece of it needs your all.
Yeah. You would just be collecting information at this point.
and I would like to amend it to say and inquire about the cost of replacing additional units.
I'd rather be to add that.
So your seconds will stand with that addition. Linda? Okay. Everybody clear?
Clear as mud.
Okay.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Callaghan,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
That's all I have.
Thank you.
Okay. Chief of Police?
David? Other than what was in your packet, I did not have anything.
That was short and sweet.
Right.
Okay. Anybody have questions about stuff that's in the packet from the chief? Thank you. We did the award for shortest report. Municipal court, Sarah.
Usually I will have one.
Okay.
So on no fault of Matt, I did not provide him this. That's gonna work. I did not provide this to Matt that I had David hand out. So on the bottom portion of that, I'm not gonna go over the ordinance that I need reviewed because I didn't provide it to you. It's just the monthly report that I provided, and then I need or I need approval for the office to be closed April 24th, 5th, and 28th. So I was already scheduled out for a vacation, and my clerk got tickets to California that her family cannot get refunded, and she's also going to be gone now.
Okay. And the judge has cleared this?
Yes, but I would need permission on normal operating hours to work from home / work from where I'm gonna be on vacation. I'll just have to check voicemails and my email as I can.
What will be the policy when you take it versus what we approve? Because this is the same one that's been up in the air.
The policy right now says during regular business hours, and I would probably check my email during regular business hours from my phone or my computer versus the office.
So it sounds like you can follow the process for.
I guess I would have to ask David for permission.
Yep.
If the board so chooses, of course, permission.
So do we need a motion to?
Yes.
No. Okay, for the closing of the office.
Oh, yes.
The closing of the office.
But not for the remote work.
Right.
Okay. So I would like to make a motion that we approve the office to be closed from April 24th through the 25th and the 28th.
The clerk's.
Yeah, the clerk's office.
Linda, did I hear a second? Yes. Okay. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Any further discussion? Sarah, you need to add anything?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Clerk, call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Callaghan,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
All right. Any new business? Is that right? I'm so sorry. All right, Personnel Committee. Linda?
Yes, I do have. I have accept the resignation of Zachary Peterson, volunteer firefighter, effective 4/30/2025.
Second?
Okay, any discussion, questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Callaghan,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Also for the fire department, I have approval of annual step increase for Bill Edson, Assistant Chief EMT, from pay grade 140, step 4 at $28.70 per hour to step 5 at $29.28 per hour, effective 1/19/20. 2025.
Second?
Any discussion? Questions? Clerk call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Callaghan,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
And for the Communications Department, I have approved status change for Kara Johnston from full-time communications officer to part-time communications officer effective 4/16/2025.
Second?
Any questions? Okay, I need to make sure that it's Johnston, S-T-O-N.
Johnston.
Okay. Clerk call the roll.
Olson,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Callaghan,
Yes.
Gallagher.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else from you?
That's all I have. The other is gonna be in, it says, see Human Resource Risk Manager report for the other topics.
Sorry, just the stuff we've discussed.
We did that. Okay.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session for personnel matters. 6:20:02 subsection 3.
All right, we're not doing the finance committee?
I'd like to take care of this under personnel.
Okay. That'll be fine.
Second?
And it's 6:10:021.
6:10:02:13.
Okay. Clerk call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Callaghan,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Sorry, people, but
You should hear okay.
compromise yourselves.
We need somebody on.
The door's unlocked, all the meetings are
Oh,
open.
sorry, I'm on.
Is it unlocked?
We go to the mayor's office for a close.
You won't get over there. I'll never be done that time.
Civic organization. Tax status. Oh.
Civic needs to stay civic. They need to stay separate. Is that gonna come up in today's discussion or?
Oh, yeah. Just whatever.
Okay. I'll just jump right through.
Okay.
All right.
You okay? Or did you just get lightheaded?
No, it's like foot.
I mean, as I was getting up to leave, go get the stuff, I saw Chief jump up and got my shoulders. Take care of yourself.
She took the boys to the playground, they were getting a little antsy.
I bet. It's nicer outside. You guys actually right here, the wind.
Actually,
kind of blowing.
It's a lot better here than it is up there.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I hate to do it, I said, I'm telling you, I've been in my house for 30 years and I'm scared.
Oh, yeah.
I know, I'm like, I probably need to get mine serviced. I mean, it's not old, right? But it makes me nervous. Definitely haven't been doing that.
Start now.
I spray it off.
I clean mine.
But we don't have trees in the neighborhood, so it's not like it gets a lot of like the cotton or something.
Free on, I don't know, do they even have free on?
They got some kind of liquid, we should probably find out what's in it.
My dad was an air conditioner 25 years ago, but when he was first my dad, he's so OCD.
I mean, I can reach out. I always use.
It's too cold.
Over is it? Oh, yeah. I'm at the pool company that installed my pool. They installed it last year, it has a lifetime warranty. It's jammed, it's not a. They took like a picture of it's a holding system, it's like capable. You obviously did something wrong, which is not surprising, like special, but they're come out and fix it.
Nice.
Paper teams. Call me, look, I'll get on Teams. Dispatch just sent me a message on Teams right now. I'm going to come to every other meeting now, but. No, I'm not. I'll go back to every other meeting. I just couldn't risk it, otherwise.
I thought they made
No, they just kept trying to change stuff, and I figured it's better if I just stay here and see it firsthand.
Well, they're. No,
It's funny too.
My old friend's home. I told her I don't like her actually. So now I don't know if she's home or not. When I'm home, lots of. My dad. Right at the front door. Yeah, Gary doesn't like me sitting at the front door. But so he sits like one part of the window, so he'll be like, Michelle's on the Is that all right? There goes Michelle. This is gonna maybe that's how you do it. Well, this morning I looked at, and of course your chart went down. I was like, she's not enough for work already. And then I went back about a half hour later and I saw the uniform. I was like, we're stuck on now. The uniform on my front door. That's funny. I need to find a one. Yeah. Just stick it out from my doorbell. Just put it out there. Yeah. Bring me the home. Red bean stop. I just put a note on the sign on the door. Why do all these people keep showing up to work? Yeah. Well, me, I don't know. In fact, kids don't do it. I told her, like, you don't use the steps. My house is full of it hurts. You don't use the steps. It's garage, so like, you just put a walking step, you get to the front door. Right. Or a caution. If they only not caution. Yeah. Whitney texted me and she goes, "Come look outside." And I walk out on my deck and I'm like, what am I looking at? She's out there going, that was funny. You do? My daughter competes on Thursday. Yes. Everything. Wow. Oh, yeah.
She was sitting. Yeah, she was at here. Oh, there are. She was in Florida. Michelle. That was the one that wasn't. There it is. She just turned 10. And another one for 11. She is a young woman. But I'm from. I don't know, I just need to, I've got to go. There's some bags. I got to see today. Girls there that have There's my. I don't, I guess I do. The other uniform better.
Oh, my shorts and t-shirt. Yeah, that was up.
Both these replacements.
My wife.
Ruby is on my generation. Arabella got first time she met her. Many years.
There you go.
No parents can attend. So I'm trying I've never heard that.
Summer and winter, but they just changed over the end of the time. Deputies have to get, they can't say. Yeah, they've got a rich stuff. It's class A business. And that's what they're doing, class A is time. They got rid of the 12 down that was khaki color and just more blue pants. It's all gone. Oh my gosh. It's black. The guys are so funny. You don't want nothing. No, the class A. This is your new class A. What? Are you kidding me? You said it. But yeah, I think you're right.
No, I just said I was here in college with your white socks. I think he comes in the mornings in shorts.
I know, I caught him on my way down there the other day, and I said, oh, wait, did I miss something? You guys got to do something.
That's right.
Oh, man. No white. With the dad.
Oh, yeah. Don't give them any excuse.
Don't ever believe anything.
I don't need it. This soda gets sun on it.
I wondered why she kept
That screen thing, what do you think got on that screen?
Anyway, yeah. Now I would use for you.
That's my screen.
Corner desk, though.
Like that, your place has got a little hole.
Oh, yeah.
Tools out.
You get lots of like text of like, you see how
I always did.
I do now. Otherwise we keep them dark because we can put 60 CP flash. I'm gonna put the tint on my windows at home and then if the bird comes it's so dusty. I know. You gotta do spring and clean and all that. I'll light the blinds. Hey, do I know you?
Kelsey Sands for watching.
And I saw him the other day on the I had my ring on and I saw this guy with zero turn mower and I called Ring and I said, Johnny was in the yard. She goes, no, Johnny stays right there by me. She goes, I could go home. He was up there. Look at the house. Oh, yeah. I didn't see that. Oh, yeah. So anyway, I said, oh, must be good. He's really sorry for me because my grandsister told him. I think I saw her back in. Silver truck, the blue silver truck, and the blue orange car. We got the girls, the family. We got Disney and Harry Potter. Now they're like. Now we're literally, they packed one on the flight.
Nice, good. Play it on the
They're smaller.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking about taking it out of the box.
We bought it last Christmas. We bought these board game like organizer bags.
Yes, I have them.
We bought like a whole set of them, like small, medium, and large ones, and we put all of our board games in each one, labeled them.
I did that with all the games, but I didn't think about it.
Just get the smaller ones for like the card game ones.
Feels bad taking them out.
It does. It hurts.
But if I'm gonna need to do it on the fly.
Yeah.
Can't have extra. And then Southwest now, we're grandfathered in my soup right now, but I think it September, it changes for August to, no, only one bag free or something. It's taking away that.
Yeah, they no longer have their 2 free bags per
It's a
person.
bad card.
And then soon, if not already now, they won't have the open seating anymore. It'll be assigned seating like all the rest of theirs.
Honestly, I
It does.
almost wish they would do that because every single time they redo
Yeah.
my ticket, and then they'll put me on, but then they won't let my kids research. They and like people get pissed.
Yeah,
No, I don't
that's-
sit there.
it's obnoxious.
I don't want to sit there. I don't want to roll back. Much better chance than I want that. Right?
It's not in the middle because that's where they split.
Right. And you can't, I can't go pee on the flight. I have, it's hard though. Really useful like. Oh, I know what my dad would say.
Yeah, airplanes are not great.
But those will be.
I don't mind it, but it's definitely not comfortable.
My grandson could not. Yeah. So excited.
I don't like it. It's scary.
Or
It's like, well, just give it time.
I don't like flying at all. We used to drive before back and forth, but I think it's.
Yeah, that was also.
we used to live in Florida, and me and my family would drive to Maine every summer. It's like a 30-something hour drive.
Complaining about 18 hours.
Yeah.
But that's I-95 all the way up, right?
Yeah. Take US 1 and then I-95. Easy. It was my dad driving. I was a kid, but we would stop in. We would.
It'll take us an hour to get there as old as
We would stop in Pennsylvania at my cousin's house, and then we would all drive to Maine together.
We drive my places, but I don't think 24 hours is a great idea. I don't like to stop. I think you're supposed to kind of get out, stretch every few hours.
John doesn't call that. John is pointing from all the years of driving over the road. He's 0.8.
Wasn't my dad, or was, I guess.
Shut up and hold on because he is going.
We didn't even like to let my mom drive, because then that would be like, that's another stop that we have to do as drivers. It's like, I don't want to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
You're west, right?
Yeah, I don't drive outside of the area.
Oh, they're coming out.
They went outside to play.
I believe it.
They went
I would go outside.
I'm just praying that I don't feel it.
It's cooler in there.
Yeah, air conditioning there.
I forgot.
It's nice in there.
We thought I'd just stay in there. I don't like.
Yeah, if you guys want to go in there and hang out. See if everyone squeezes in there.
I move that we exit closed session.
Second. It can be John.
Wrong meeting. Clerk, call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Callahan,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
We had a motion coming out of the closed session. The motion was to restrict admin staff from being in administrative offices after normal business hours, including the Board of Alderman meetings, unless authorized by the mayor. And the procedure to enter City Hall shall be through the police lobby. The procedure for entering after normal business hours to enter City Hall shall be through the police lobby and the.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
I do. Can you hear me?
Hold close.
Okay.
I talk loud, so you can keep it next to
Okay.
you.
Oh, that's
Everyone
fine.
can, everyone can hear
plenty
you
of
fine.
mics here.
No one struggles to hear Trinity.
That one's on.
Is it? Well,
Here, it's fine.
okay.
There you go. I'm really loud.
Okay. So I do have a question, with Clerk Chapman. I'd like to hear your perspective of this, statement that we propose to implement, or anyone else that's part of the admin. If I haven't phrased it right.
No, I was comfortable with it. I very seldom have the need to be here after hours late, so, and if I needed to, I think it was acceptable to have the mayor's knowledge and approval.
Thank you.
I just have a question. So this is anything outside of 8 to 5? I do know.
And all the meetings and board meetings. So it includes,
That's the part I don't understand.
so that's, yeah, it's hard because the phrasing is also in parentheses. So that's hard to think, communicate verbally, and that's I did want to make a comment that the motion clarifies that it is within regularly scheduled business hours, and those business hours include board meetings that would require the attendance of administrative staff.
Okay, so, yeah, because I mean, normally, I mean, if the meeting time's changing, that may be
Exactly.
different, but normally we stay.
Yes.
Yeah, here's an example. If for some reason, Georgia, you had an issue with payroll, and it would require you to stay later than 5 o'clock, then there would be a notification to me to know that you are going to be up here doing
Okay.
that.
Okay.
And then,
And that's just for admin?
yes, yes, at this point.
Thank you.
Clerk on the roll?
Gallagher,
Yes.
Calvin,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
All right, any other new business? I have something that I'd like to address the board with this new business.
One
Go
second.
ahead.
We still have a finance committee. I know we don't have a finance chair, but that agenda item is still listed here.
Okay, so we're going to skip past that
Okay.
and handle new business. Okay. We have a resignation out of Ward 3 from Tom Ross, effective the 15th/16th. I have a replacement for Mr. Moss, and I'd like to hand out some information about that replacement. He is here tonight. You have two?
Yeah.
You got enough? One more? Dean, would you please step forward? Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Dean Shires, live over on Sarah Lane. Been a resident here for 32 years. Love it here, wouldn't move nowhere else. Raised my family here, I got 8 grandkids all in this area. And I work right over here in the business park. I've retired twice and I can't seem to stay at home. Actually, part of it's my wife. She thinks I need to get out of the house. But yeah, I'm trying to retire for the 3rd time. This will be for good. I've got a daughter that lives right here. I got a son that lives at home with me that's up with us, and a daughter that lives just right on the borderline of Pleasant Valley and Kansas City right now. She was in Pleasant Valley, but she moved. So Marine asked me if I would accept this, and I told her I would, so here I am.
Board members? Yes.
I would just love to know why it is that you would like to be on the board. What's kind of your motivation?
Well, David asked me years ago when he was mayor to be on the board, but I couldn't do it because of my hours. But I just like to be a helpful in the community, promote safety to promote new families coming in, let them know that it's a safe community, and help out wherever I can.
And I have noticed that you are a talker in your community.
Yes.
Ward 3.
Yes.
Perfect, thank you.
He is, yeah, always out in the yard, always talking.
Yeah, I volunteer at Kansas City Northern Rancher Railroad on weekends. So
My
this
son
just,
likes that.
I like that.
All right, any other questions? All right, is there?
I move to accept Dean Showers as Alderman for 3 upon the mayor's recommendation.
Second.
She gets it.
Yeah, she did.
Okay, clerk call the roll.
Calvin,
Yes.
Calvin,
Yes.
Stover,
Yeah.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Congratulations, you will be getting a packet that weighs a ton, just like the rest of us, for the next meeting.
Thank you all. Do you want him?
You'll get it down to road again then.
Swear in, do you get a seat? Congratulations. Thank you.
Swear him in, man.
If you want, if the board would like to do that, we can do that. I mean, we don't have that much left. We have a new business. New business item? Okay. Let's give him a break and.
Okay, we'll swear him in next meeting.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Can I just want to ask that the police don't have to sit out in the street to deliver our packets, they can actually go on my driveway. Is that okay? Is that
What was that?
You can pull
There
in
was
our driveway.
something
said that police have to stay out on the street to deliver packets, and I want them to come on my driveway, I don't want them to block the street.
I'd invite you to my driveway, but you'll get stuck. You don't want to go down my driveway.
Four-wheel drive.
It's not fun. You don't want to go down my driveway.
Dean, why don't, you and Matthew after the meeting, just go ahead and swear him in, okay? We can do that out of the city realm.
Well, she'll want to take pictures of them.
She can hold up the picture.
I'm a photographer, so my life's calling.
Okay. Is there anything else?
Ms.
that
Rainey?
we-
I had
Yes,
an item for new business as well.
all right.
So about a year ago, we had a significant discussion on the board about becoming a city administrative form of government. And there was a lot of questions asked, not a lot of discussion. And so we are approaching the end of the 1-year appointment. And so based off of that, I have a motion to direct the city clerk to draft an ordinance that repeals the ordinances that created the city administrative form of government. I have a list of them. Those are specifically 3550, 3551, and 3552.
Okay. Is there a
Second.
Did you do that? Okay. So you did the second discussion. Are you, that's not a favor of.
I think they're just talking amongst themselves.
All right. Call the roll.
I'll read the titles. An ordinance creating the city administrator form of government, an ordinance granting the mayor the power to appoint the city administrator, and an ordinance repealing ordinance number 3523 and amending the employee compensation stat plan. So a yes vote to this would mean we remove any vestiges of the city administrator from our official ordinances, and we return back to a board of alderman mayor form of government.
Clarify,
Yeah.
a yes vote is to direct the city clerk to bring an
To bring an
ordinance.
ordinance. Thank you, yes.
So this would not be actually making the
No.
official vote to revert back to the previous form of government, but it's just to bring an ordinance forward to revert. And then people would have at the next meeting the opportunity to vote on that ordinance.
Correct, thank you. Was there any other questions?
Calvin,
Yes.
Calvin,
Yes.
Cody,
No.
Scarborough,
No.
Freeman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Any other new business? Okay. And we need to do consideration of ordinances and resolutions. Is that correct? Okay. Okay, we have a council bill before us. I'd like you to read the bill number 3587. Matthew?
An ordinance approving a cooperative agreement between the city of Pleasant Valley, Missouri and Ray County Ambulance District for participation in a ride-along program.
So moved.
Second?
First and seconded. Any discussion? Clerk call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Callaghan,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Go ahead and read the motion in a second.
An ordinance approving a cooperative agreement between the city of Pleasant Valley, Missouri and Ray County Ambulance District for participation in a ride-along program.
So moved.
Second?
Do we have to do? Call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Callaghan,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
And then we have a resolution 2025-0421-01. Would you please handle the resolution?
A resolution of the Board of Aldermen of the city of Pleasant Valley, Missouri, demonstrating commitment to public safety and authorizing the police chief to submit an application for the Missouri Blue Shield program.
So moved.
Second?
Was it Jacoby or?
It doesn't matter. It is. We've all said it.
Okay, all right. Any further discussion on this? Clerk call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Callaghan,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
And then you have to read that again. And I think we're at.
Move to adjourn.
Second?
Clerk call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Callaghan,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Thank you all for hanging in.
Appreciate it.
You're right.
Mom's done, you go get her.
I'm gonna try and have some.